The cosmetic differences are more than likely the first differences that you'll notice between the original Launchpad and the Launchpad S. It was kind of hard for me to tell in some of the original promo shots and videos and stuff, but the S is actually more of a gray color, and the original is just flat, solid, classic black. The next thing that you've more than likely heard about is the brighter lights, which the Launchpad S definitely does have, but when you get yours, you probably won't notice them because the S has two power modes, low and full, and out of the box, mine was in low, which compared to the original is significantly more dim. So after freaking out for about a minute, I went on Novation's website and looked at the guide, and I found out about the bootloader. To get into the bootloader, make sure you hold down your session, user 1, user 2, and mixer buttons while plugging in your USB cable. And now you're in the bootloader. These two red buttons are your power modes. Right now we're in low power. I'm going to hit this and you'll see it scroll across, power, full. So it is now bright. And I don't have another S, so I can't really demonstrate how this works, but this row, or these two rows of yellow lights, represent 16 hardware IDs that you can assign to your S if you're using more than one, and they're connected to your computer. They'll be recognized individually, and they'll receive the appropriate MIDI instructions. The green buttons down here just represent your firmware and bootloader versions. And this is your exit. So now we are in full power mode, but it's definitely really useful that the Launchpad S has those two power modes, simply to accommodate the fact that it is iOS compatible, unlike the original, so you can run that and not eat up battery or whatever it would do. The next task at hand is to display the difference in speed that you've probably heard about. I'm currently running Launchpad 95, and when I switch to the instrument mode, you'll notice how the lights have virtually no load time on the S, but they kind of crawl on to the original. So there's definitely a very noticeable difference in the response time that switching modes gives you on the S and the original. I've also been told that with the original, switching modes is slowed down even more with every Launchpad that you add to your computer, but I think it's safe to say you won't have that problem with more than one S connected. Now would be a great time to point out my personal favorite thing about the S. There's no flicker in the LEDs. Obviously in front of me I can't see a flicker on the original Launchpad, but on camera it's painfully obvious. And it's really cool that Novation has taken the steps to ensure that this debilitating rolling shutter is taken care of once and for all. All my other controllers are pretty jealous of it for this reason. Now in terms of performance, they both react in the same ways. The buttons are still the same and have the same feel of that satisfying double-click action going on there, and it's not like the original launches clips slower or takes an extended amount of time to respond in a drum rack or something like that. At least I haven't noticed a difference in response. All in all, I'm personally really happy with the S. Brighter lights are always awesome. The decreased load time when switching modes will take away some panic during performance, and the hardware ID feature is awesome too for those setups with more than one Launchpad S. It's also iOS compatible and gets along better with other programs, and the fact that I don't have to deal with flickering lights is a godsend. With that said, Novation got it right with the original Launchpad. It's still a wonderful piece of equipment. So if the advantages of the S don't really matter to you and you're still able to find an original, why not pick it up and get to making music?